Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? It's your host, Sportswear, here coming to speak to you today. I know I'm not dressed business casually, but we are going to talk some business today. And the reason I'm not dressed business casually is because the people that I'm talking about in the media are never about their damn business. That happens to be the Dallas Cowboys, folks. They're always in the media for anything other than their productivity, for anything other than winning the NFC Championship, and for anything other than winning the Super Bowl, folks. Let's be real. The Dallas Cowboys has had it hard, but they've made it hard on themselves. Don't deny it. I know you Dallas Cowboys fans are out there. Don't be ashamed. Every team has fans. But folks, we're here to talk about Ezekiel Elliott. Holding out for a contract? You're not going to report the training camp. Well, folks, we have a couple of sections to cover here. The first thing that we're going to cover is why Jerry Jones can afford to not pay Ezekiel Elliott. He can go a couple of different avenues. The first avenue he can go with as well, Zeke, we have to pay Dak Prescott next year. We just got a young stud at a wide receiver position named Amari Cooper last year, and we gave up a first-round pick for him. On top of that, we got Jason Witten back this year, a veteran in the locker room at the tight end position, who can block for you as well as catch passes off the line. He's a safety blanket. Then you look at guys like Randall Cobb, who has joined the Dallas Cowboys from the Green Bay Packers. Another veteran in the locker room, a slot receiver, replaces Cole Beasley. Better than Cole Beasley, can run the long routes. He can catch in the slot. The guy is lethal, and all above anything else, like I said before, ladies and gentlemen, he's a veteran. And he played with the best quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion, with Aaron Rodgers for the last couple of seasons. Folks, so Jerry Jones can look at that approach and say, well, we got to see what this brother's worth. Let's see what Dak Prescott can do without you, Zeke. Sit down. Hold out for a little bit. I'll get you your money. Don't worry about it, my man. I've taken care of you this far. Speaking of taking care of Zeke, if you're Jerry Jones, that brings me to the next option that Jerry Jones can go with. Well, Zeke, you don't deserve to be paid the money that you want when you want it. You know why, damn it? I covered your butt when it came to the domestic violence. I went to bat for you with the NFLPA. I went to bat for you with the judicial system. I went to bat with you with the judge, jury, and executioner being the NFL themselves. They like to get down to the nitty gritty. And Jerry Jones stood up for his player, got his lawyers involved, all to prevent Ezekiel Elliott from being suspended for 6 games. Did he serve a suspension? Yes, he did. Was it well-deserved? You best believe it was. So if you're Jerry Jones, you look at that and say, man, I took care of you for the last 3 years. You've been nothing but problems since you entered the NFL on my team, and every issue has been off the field. Yes, we know that you've been a Russian champ for 3 years running. But what did Jerry Jones just say the other day? You don't need a Russian champ to win the Super Bowl. Those were his words out of Jerry Jones's mouth. Now, do I exactly agree with that? No. I don't believe that if you had any Russian champ in the NFL that you would not need that guy to win the Super Bowl. That's not true. But you don't need Ezekiel Elliott to win the Super Bowl. At least you can think that if you're Jerry Jones. But you do. And this is where the tables turn and favors Ezekiel Elliott. Hey, man, you already know if you're Ezekiel Elliott, I've caused too much trouble in this organization. You have my back on domestic violence. You have my back on assault charges. You have my back on what recently came up tonight when they covered up a car accident in 2017 and the police officers swept it under the rug because they wanted Ezekiel Elliott to play in the NFC playoff game. Folks, if you're Ezekiel Elliott, you don't have much room to complain. But what you can present onto the table and to Ezekiel Elliott is this. To Jerry Jones is this. Hey, man, you just spent your money on Jason Witten, on getting him back. Now, that's not even worried about the money. This is Jerry Jones. This is the richest franchise in sports history. This is the richest franchise. The Dallas Cowboys. It just came out with the numbers 2 weeks ago. They're number 1 right above the New York Yankees. So we're not worried about money. You're the richest franchise. You can afford me. You can afford Dak Prescott, Amari Cooper, Jason Witten, Randall Cobb. And the defensive side of the ball, Jalen Smith. You can afford us. This is a defensive team that was ranked 7th last year and they're ranked 6th this year. You can afford to pay everybody on offense and defense. That's from the D-line, that's to the secondary, that's from the offensive line, that's to the running back position, to the wide receiver position, to the tight end position, to the run. He can have it covered if he wanted to, Jerry Jones being he. So I'm Ezekiel Elliott. I say, look, man, we damn near got a Fab Five type of thing going on here with Amari Cooper, that being 1, Randall Cobb, that being 2, Jason Witten, that being 3, and then Dak Prescott, that being 4, and me, myself, Ezekiel Elliott, being number 5 to close out the Fab Five, folks. If you're Ezekiel Elliott, you can play that card. But in my opinion, out of all the options, what should Ezekiel Elliott do? This is what should transpire in the Dallas Cowboys organization. Right now as we speak, this is what should transpire. Jerry Jones should say, hey, we're going to hold out for a couple of reasons. I want to see what Dak Prescott could do without you. How's his mobility? How's his confidence? How's his accuracy? How's his play calling ability? How's his adjusting ability? This goes for Jason Garrett as well, because we don't think he's a great coach. But that's the things we need to analyze here before we play Ezekiel Elliott the big bucks. And then on top of that, if you're Jerry Jones, if you decide to pay this man before then, because you know you can't win a couple of games without this guy. If you pay him before the regular season, or if you pay him 2 games into the regular season, you can say, hey, we're going to give you some money. We're going to give you more than $3 million you're worth this year. We're going to give you more than the $9 million that you're supposed to get next year, because this is all on your rookie contract. And we'll give you more money. But it won't be the amount that you want. And it won't be on the time frame that you want. Because you did this. You had the mishaps in your first 3 years. You stayed in the news for everything other than the damn game of football for your first 3 years, which the Dallas Cowboys are very much known for. Let's not forget about guys like David Irving, who's a couple of years into his career and has had PED issues, and he has not played a full season yet. Then you look back on a guy like Randy Gregory. You can also look back on a guy like Greg Hardy. These guys are known for being in the news for everything other than the game of football, folks. So if you're Jerry Jones, you can take that approach. If you're Ezekiel Elliott, you can accept that approach because you laid your bed. You have to sleep in it. Ezekiel Elliott, I'm sorry to say it, but you are not in the same realm as Melvin Gordon when it comes to contract negotiations. And this is why you're 24 years old. You're going to get your money. I believe that Jerry Jones will actually take care of him, even though he has not had a great history of taking care of his running backs. But if you're Ezekiel Elliott, this is the best time to hold out, technically speaking, because you're 24 years old. If you don't hold out now, he's going to pay you when you're 25 for next season for $9 million. Then at the age of 26, 27, and 28, he's going to franchise tag you. By the time you're 28 going on 29, he's not going to give you your money because by that time, running backs are worn down. They're not worth a whole lot of money. Moving on to Melvin Gordon case. When you talk about Melvin Gordon, a guy that's only made over $1 million once when it comes to the salary for playing football, and that was last season. Now this year, Melvin Gordon is worth $5 million on his contract. That's what he's supposed to get paid. Now, the difference between Zeke and Melvin Gordon is 26 years old. If he does not hold out now, and Lord knows I hate to see it as a Chargers fan, this is our time. It's our time to sprint to the Super Bowl. But so be it. Everybody has to get paid. I'm not going to count another man's money. Not personally, at least. In sports, yes. But we're talking about this guy that's owed $5 million. He's 26 years old. They're going to franchise tag this brother when he's 27 and when he's 28. And then they're not going to give him his money. Or they may franchise tag him when he's 29 and say, we're not going to give you your money because you're 29 going on 30 or you're 28 going on 29. And quite frankly, you're not worth 4 or 5 years because by the time you're in the middle of that 4 or 5 year contract, you're 30, 31 years old. And we all know what they say about running backs at 30, 31 years old. They're just not going to produce like they would at the age of 24 or 26 like Melvin Gordon and Ezekiel Elliott has done. Folks, I hate to say it. Melvin should hold out. Ezekiel Elliott shouldn't. You need to report to training camp. You need to negotiate to get more money than what you're getting now, but you're not going to get the money that you absolutely want because of trouble that you've been in, young man. I'm sorry to put it to you. If you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, suck it up. And folks, let me say this. None of this is personal. I don't come in here to talk about people's personal matters. We're talking sports. So if you're getting your feelings, get rid of them. This is about sports. Right now, it's about the game of football, and I would never attack these people personally. Folks, this is what it is. Y'all know how we get down here on Sports With. Thanks for watching.